Oh, that's quite funny. We introduced a chair for some apparent reason. Oh no, it's back to me. Cool. Shall we start with the pull requests? We got a few of them.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, got two of them.
Sorry, I'm going to eat again.
There it is.
Just for a change.
So we've got the allow a board to be built and asserted by using ASCII.
Yes, this is sort of similar to what we were saying last time. I just extend it slightly. So that's right. You set up PacMan and the location of ghosts outside of that. So that's the first thing you do in the method.
Yeah. And
when you
call to the
to the game settings as before.
Yeah.
And then when you call create board, you also include PacMan as a P, and it uses that to orientate all the other pieces on the board.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. And then if it comes across a G, then it just makes sure that you've added a ghost to that location.
Have I got multiple ghosts?
Yeah, you can have multiple ghosts. It's not, as long as there is at least one at that location, it will pass.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't care which ghost it is. So if you've added 3 ghosts, as long as you can put 3 Gs on that board if you want.
Okay. Does it set or check that all of them being placed in that location, or does it
No,
not care?
no. You can not put the G on it at all, and it'd be quite happy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I wouldn't be able to do them all anyway if you put them all on top of each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you put a G, it'll check it's correct, but otherwise, it doesn't do the opposite. And then you always have to have PacMan, and then you've also got a cert board slightly further down, which basically works in the same way. You have to call create board first, so it knows sort of its orientation and so on. And then a cert board does the same thing. It checks, if it sees a P, it checks PacMan's there, and if it sees a G, it checks there's a ghost in that location.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. Nice extended from last time.
Yeah, it's the code's slightly hacky, and there's like a circular reference in there as well, but I don't know if that matters particularly.
When you pass the second board,
yep.
What does it orientate from?
The first one. It remembers the offset from the first time.
Yeah, so if PacMan moves, then...
So you just got to make sure the padding is the same and stuff.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Okay.
I thought that sort of made sense, because then you could just copy the original crate board and use the same sort of thing and just update it.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Yeah, there's a few comments of things that could be improved, but it seems to work anyway.
Looks like similar code from the setup stuff.
Yeah.
What's the name symbol for?
Oh, that's just so you can get a nice error message.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, the weird thing is, so there's a new class which is, I can't remember what I called it, ASCII board or something, and that has a reference back to, I can't remember, has it got a reference to game settings or something? And then game settings has got a reference back to it or something like that. There is a circular reference in there.
Which one's that? Okay, this one. No, that's the ASCII.
Yeah, ASCII test settings builder. That's got a reference to game settings or test game settings. And test game settings has got a reference back to that ASCII test builder.
Oh, right, yeah. I suppose it didn't make much difference, to be fair.
No, it's just so that when you're calling it, the methods, it was a bit nicer. But yeah, I mean, the garbage collector handles things like that anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, because it just traverses the paths.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's even though most of our tests are in a different way. But
yes.
It's quite nice to refactor into.
Yeah, I think there's 2 of them done like that, and the rest are.
Do you feel like we missed a trick, like when we first started off, to kind of create something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is finally, I think I've done all the tests now to use the new test game harnessing.
Oh, right, yeah. So, every time we move and things like that, it should be asserted properly. Which ones are these ones? Bonus lives. I'll trust these, they're all right. It builds and passes, so unless you delete all the tests.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's edit that in. So I guess the first thing what we were talking about doing last time was just finishing off the handling game over, which was to record the top score, high score. It should be quite an easy one to start with.
Yeah. So how long are we going to persist that for? Is that just going to be a property on game?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Just for the lifetime of the application running.
Okay.
And then as soon as you close it, it restarts it.
Yeah.
Alternatively, we could store it in a file next to it or something. Or, well, seeing as Blazor won't allow that, will
store it.
You'd have to have some kind of storage thing. So you could have an in-memory one or a file one, or we could do that and make it say the UI passes it along. Maybe. Yeah, that could probably work. Because then at least like the UI where you're hosting it, running it, would be able to give an implementation of it saying, I want to use like a text file.
Yeah.
And then the Blazor one can be like, I want to use an API.
Yes. So like an I persist score sort of thing. Yeah.
So you can have like an in-memory one built into the game, I guess. And then the ones in the UI could override that and give another implementation to persisted.
Yep.
While past the application's been terminated and created again.
Yeah, so I guess there's two sets of testing, isn't it? The first thing we want to do is increment the score when the high score goes over the current high score.
Yeah.
And then the second one is being able to save and reload it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Should we create I've sent you the link. You're joined.
Yeah, I'm connected.
Yeah. Should we create another game test class?
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
Of high score tests. And then I'll copy all the crap out one of these ones.
Is it worth starting with one of the coin tests?
Have you done a poll? Actually.
Oh yes, that's a good point. I forgot that last time. So I'm gonna get the merge conflict stuff under it.
Yeah.
Try something to the screen as well.
Actually, isn't it similar to the bonus life tests?
Well, I thought the high score just is incrementing if you're the highest score. So
it is. It's just there's different ways you can increment the score, and we went through all that with the bonus lives tests.
Yeah.
Because you can eat coins, pills, ghosts, and fruit.
Bonus lives tests.
Yeah.
You get an extra life when the score reaches a bonus life point after eating coin.
It's kind of the whole of the bonus life test, isn't it?
It's not as complex as that, though, is it? So we don't. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Well, it kind of is, but isn't.
Depends how you look at it. Whether you're basically saying the implementation is done. So if you hook it into the score implementation, then if the score changes, then that's the only thing that can trigger it. But in the same way as we've done for the bonus lives test, we've said we don't know that the score is working the same way.
Yeah. I think you probably should go through each one and implement it. Even though they'll most likely pass after the first one, they can break it and pass again. Because then we know that it's not going to change. I don't know how different it would be implementing it. So if we had an API behind it where we're capturing the highest score, we probably wouldn't want to, every time you get a coin, wouldn't want to fire the request up. So that probably needs some kind of like buffer or kind of bounce rate.
Well, it depends when you do it. If you do it in memory, then technically you only need to store it when the game's completed. So when the player dies, at that point you can fire an API to store it.
Yeah, but does it update on the UI all the time though?
Yes. Yeah. But that's fine because we'd just render that each time anyway, won't we, on the render loop?
Yeah. Okay.
So the only thing is whether or not we fire a notification, because we could fire a notification every time there's a new high score.
Yeah.
And the API could then use that as a trigger. But then, like Kevin's saying, if once you reach the high score, then every coin you eat is then going to increment the score again.
That's easy.
Yeah, but you could implement that in whatever the high score storage thing. So it has like a bounce rate of like saying when you just get blocks of time or whatever, saying like if it's incrementing like 10 times right after each other, wait till 10 times finishes and wait for a period and then push it up. You know, like you do with like push buttons, IoT push buttons and stuff like that.
Yeah. As long as you record the final one, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, yeah.
Anyway, that's the second part to it, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So we could probably almost copy this entire class and have multiple failing tests, couldn't we?
Should we copy one at a time and then?
It's only that it's going to pass once we've done the first one.
They're all going to pass, or we're going to have to break the code to make them pass.
You get an extra half when the score reaches a bonus life point after eating a coin. So that's eating a coin.
Yeah.
So let's just rename them while we do it. In the increments the high what is it? High score?
High score.
High score?
Pretty high score. No?
Score, yeah. There'll be another set where it doesn't increment it.
Yes, I was thinking that.
So this is when it's the first game.
Yeah.
We'll increment all the time, and then we need to like kind of play a game, and then die, and then play another game.
Yeah. Okay.
This sounds like it's if we fully test it, it's going to be a fairly complicated set of tests for a bit.
Yeah, I thought it would be actually easier than this one, but I'm actually thinking it might be harder than this one.
It's going to be quite a lot harder because you're going to have to get a high score in there, eat a coin, and establish that eating a coin when you've not got the high score doesn't change the high score. You're going to have to do those sort of tests as well, which means to get a high score in, we're going to have to play a game through where we eat a coin, then die, then start a new game, then eat a coin that doesn't give us the high score, then eat another coin that does give us the high score. And we're going to have to repeat that for fruit.
Doesn't sound too bad. We just
think you might be able to
the first case and write on the second one.
Yeah. Let's do the easy ones.
Or we have it so you can initialize the game with the current high score.
Which you need to be able to do.
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to initialize it from wherever it's stored.
Yeah.
If you're going to store it, if you're not doing it in memory.
Oh yeah, we could do that. So when you create the game, you can pass in something off the game settings, which do that. Yeah.
That might be easier.
In which case, you're only doing all the tests twice. Once for getting the high, once for going over the high score, and once for not going over the high score.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think we still should start off with these simple tests of incrementing it.
Yes,
and then we'll do the next test of saying when when the game is already at a high score, we can plumb that in by just sticking a dummy storage thing in.
Yeah.
And then we can read from that and then get it kind of thing. And I'm guessing there'll be also a test what says when we complete the game, well, when we die, we tell the storage engine to go store it. And that should be fairly simple to do.
Yeah.
So this is another coin eating one. So that's, we get an extra life when the score reaches a bonus life point after eating a coin that completes the level. That's different from this one.
Yeah.
Do we need that one? I don't think we need that one.
Well, again, it's down to implementation. We're gonna, where we'll put it now, if we put that test in, we'll pass that test on the first bit of code. Just fixing the first, well, we're gonna fix them all on the first bit of code we write. So it's whether.
Well, yeah, but this one's what's the difference between this one, the coin one, and this one? That's a coin one.
This one is you've got a coin and you're still playing because there's more coins. Does it change it in circumstances? And then the second one is if that coin was the last coin on the board, does it still increase the high score?
Oh right, yeah.
Which
I think we should start for the simple one.
Knowing that we fixed that, we know it's going to work anyway before you even start. But that's still in the implementation.
That's fair, the coins. Power pearl, we need that. So I think we should just do the simple ones of power pearl, coin, and that's a power pearl one. This is power pearl. Power pearl. We need the eating fruit one.
We could do
eating ghost.
You could do with a test which says the only way to alter the score is through the increase score method. At which point, if you can demonstrate that, then by implementing it once, you can't.
Yeah, what you'd if you wanted to decouple it, you'd make the game raise an event saying new high score and something else listen to it. But because we want it internal of the game,
yeah,
we should really check it because it's part of the game.
If you decoupled scoring completely, then you wouldn't have to test all the different circumstances.
Yeah, so you could actually pull away score. But the thing is, from the outside world, because we use it from game,
yeah,
I still think it should be tested that way. Because you're not going to, from like any of the kind of UIs what we've got, we're not going to say like, go create a game and don't bother with higher score because I'm not consuming it. They're always going to consume it because it's kind of part of the game. I'm guessing the highest score should be the same as the score. Oh, is that what you put?
Yeah.
So we're doing when the high score is lower, because it only increments if it's lower than the score.
Yes. Yeah. So this is like on first game, like when you first create it.
Okay.
And then we'll do tests after that. What it says after, well, when you load a game and you've already got this high score over 10, then going over 10 changes it.
Yeah. So we don't actually need that.
I've missed the on first game bit at the end.
What's this points for thing?
You can get rid of that. That was just constants for the last one for how many points you need for, because we had like 11 and things like that splattered in the code, and it wasn't.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
All right, yeah. We can take it out of all of them, can't we?
Yeah, you can probably just copy that first one and change coin to power pill or fruit.
Oh, you need the fruit and stuff.
Oh, which one do you want? Yeah.
This is fruit. This is ghost.
I'll do the second. I'll do the power pill one because that's just a copy of the coins.
I'll just copy them all, paste them all in, so they should be all there now.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't changed the yeah. Saying the high score should be a certain thing. It's still got the older session.
So the fruit. So fruit, we have to eat a coin. Oh yeah, okay. Yep. So what do we?
We could, in theory, use the newer board generator thing.
Yeah.
Actually, if we use the new board generator thing, right, we could use these as theories. Because then it's just a string.
Yes.
So for the...
Can't get the ghosts on though, can we?
So for all of them, actually. So you could do it for the coin, because you can just put a coin in front of them. A pill, you just change the pill to be a pill. The fruit, the same thing for the fruit. Does it support fruit?
I don't know if it does. No,
ghost, you can do the same thing for ghost. You just have to put a power pill there and one really far away. So yeah, that would actually work quite well.
You can't pass the ghost in though, can you?
You can?
Not on a...
Oh no, you can't pass the location of ghosting, can you?
But you could do the first three.
Yeah.
Well, it takes an array rather than a string, doesn't it? It's a string of an array of strings. But
yeah, but you only need one line, don't you?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, you're right, you do.
So you can just go right and go pill, coin, or whatever else.
You'd have to. What does game harness.move do?
You need to pass who appears after coins eaten on each one.
We need another method though, because
that generally does everything.
Yes. Move checks you haven't eaten a coin. I guess it's just called tick. You could do game harness.clock.tick, I suppose.
Which is this one for, sorry?
The problem is you can build the board up, but you're not always eating coins. So you can't just call game harness.eat coin.
Yeah. So then, yeah, you lose the ability to do that.
And if you do game harness.move, then that checks you haven't eaten a coin. So then you've got to call game harness.clock.tick. Yeah, and then you're losing the built-in
error checking.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just start off with this one then. I guess
so maybe
we've
we
got all
don't.
the tests.
I haven't checked the ghost one. I was just about to do that. So what do we do? So ghost 2's position to our left. So we eat the pill. Then we've got to eat the ghost, haven't we?
Then you need
yeah, where's the ghost? Oh yeah, I guess we do it. Wait a minute.
Do that, don't we?
Yeah, that's weird. That wasn't there before. Shall I run it?
Yep, it should fail.
So yeah, 4 failing tests. High score should be 250, 10, 50, 110.
Good.
So yeah, they're all failing. So implementation, this should be pretty easy. We should just set the score. Well, we can actually just set high score to score, right?
Yeah.
Where did high score go? Oh, wait a minute. It's in game. So in here, we can just set this to score. And that would actually make all the test pass.
Yeah. Good. Job done.
So really, we want one where we don't increment it. And that's, I guess, should we create a game which already has a high score set?
Yeah, I think so.
So
where's the high score in game?
Yeah, we just set it to score.
I put it on the UI.
Yeah, sure. You want to do that?
Got it. There we go.
Oh, it's already on. Should we run it just to make sure we're not crazy?
Should be. I haven't.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not even saving the file.
Yeah, it should be.
Oh, it's on the screen.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that works perfectly. Excellent. So let's just commit that. Just got something to it. So I guess we need a failing test which doesn't increment it when it's already got a high score.
Yeah. Are we going to have some sort of high score loader storage interface? Is that the plan? And we'd inject that into game.
I think this on the game settings, we should have, like we do with other things.
The direction picker and things like that.
Yeah. So I think we should have something which is high score storage or something.
Yeah. And then in the test, we can just set that to be a known value, can't we?
Yeah. So we need to set it to any known value. And then when we create the game, we just have to say that that's the known value to start off with. And that'll fail straight away.
Yes.
We implement that, and then we create the other test of we're saying it doesn't increment unless you get over that value.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel free to do that while I just commit this.
Okay.
Let's get this ticking number.
I'll copy the first one again. I've got the world's longest test name. Like that.
Yeah.
And then probably pass that in as an optional thing into there, maybe.
Well, you can just set it as a property, can't you?
Yeah, okay. So you can have
like we did before.
Yeah, okay, high score storage.
Just set that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we need, what's it got on it?
Oh, sorry. That's just set to that class.
Oh, yeah. So that you're not creating this class yet, have you?
No, no.
This interface. I'll go create that interface
Okay.
over in.
Yeah.
It's got a get high score method. Do we have game settings up here? Oh, yeah, more game settings. I need to get rid of that one.
Oh, I see. You just implemented directly on this test class, have you?
Yeah. So
yeah, makes sense.
Somebody at my work told me, this is a good pattern. And even though it feels like a terrible pattern in the code at our work, because the interfaces has about 20 methods on it, it feels like a good case to use it here because it's going to be used just in this scope of this.
Yeah, no, I like the idea of keeping it contained. Yeah.
And it's actually called, do you know what the name of it is? I got told it the other day.
No.
It's actually called self-shunt.
Okay.
Yeah. I suppose it's in Kent Speck's book. I was going to verify what he said, but I can't seem to find my book anywhere.
I've got your book, haven't I?
Have you got it?
Yeah. Found it.
I think it's on page 170 something. You have to.
Let me look it up for you. Oh yeah, design pattern. So yeah, pluggable selector factory.
I know, page 147 it's supposedly on.
Oh, okay.
I just checked my team's message. I said I was going to verify his what he told me, but I didn't have the book.
147 is crash test dummy.
I suppose it talks about self-shunts, isn't it?
I'll see if it's an index. Self-shunt tests 145. Yeah. Yeah, the test case itself becomes a kind of mock object. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we set the high score. We plumb in that. We add a coin and one far away. We go eat the coin. Well, we wait to eat the coin. That should be the same. We eat the coin, and the high score should stay the same as what it was before. Yeah, that looks right. Oh, actually, the other implementations of game settings don't have it, so it adds to. Oh, I don't mean to do that.
I'd be tempted to make the assertion at the end a constant though, because if high score did change.
2 seconds.
Position where at the end of?
On line 118.
I'll get there in a second.
That's right.
Just going to implement on here.
Assert what?
So on line 118, we're checking that the high score is high score.
Yeah.
But what happens is that variable's actually changed. It invalidates the test, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true. So
yeah.
It's either that or just manually write 1,000 in at the bottom.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. This looks a bit weird.
We've got initial high score, maybe.
Yeah. Let's put initial.
Oh yes, right. No. Oh, even. Yeah, that looks better than it.
Good. High score should be high score. Yeah, that's right. Should we run that?
Yeah, so that's going to fail because nothing calls get high score, does it? So,
no, it doesn't even wire it up, so it can't do.
Yeah.
It doesn't, well, non-nullable property, high score is uninitialized. What? Didn't I did that? Where's? Oh yeah, but yeah, okay. We don't really care for time being. Actually, we do care, don't we? We'll have to create an implementation version of this.
Yeah.
Like an in-memory one for the time being.
Which is basically what you've done anyway, isn't it?
Because it's going to blow up all the tests as well.
Yeah.
So that's not actually going to work anymore because otherwise tests are going to fail. But oh well. Compile.
It will work because nothing calls get high score yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. And I'm missing something. 74. Oh yeah. Get that eventually. High score is currently, yeah, so that works.
Yeah.
So we can go load that back, I guess. So I think we should load it back as we do everything else inside the state, where we create the state object.
Yes.
Because we do that at the top of here, don't we? So then we can store a variable on here, which is just high score.
Yep. Agreed.
Should I do that?
Yeah.
Let's try and be helpful in this filling it with rubbish.
I'll add it as. And then we change game to get that from.
Yeah, so this game settings.
Yeah.
Game state dot high score.
Yeah.
Did you put that option there?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. What I did. Oh, it needs to go on game setting reader, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. I read only one.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
What's this? Public? On an interface?
It's an internal.
Yeah, but why have we got a public keyword on an interface?
I don't know actually. Didn't even know it had that.
Yeah. Been there a month.
I didn't even know. That must be some new C# thing.
What does it even mean?
I don't know.
They were talking about doing it, weren't they? But it's not.
Wow. So we got 171 failing tests.
Oh, because we haven't actually implemented it in
Oh yeah, yeah. So
the
that other
memory
one's-
storage.
If we do the in-memory one.
Yeah.
Just where'd I put it?
I don't know. It needs to go in the main project, doesn't it?
Yeah. So if we just return that to be 0 for time being.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just move type to put into a saving class so I can actually find it. I'll be searching around forever. Yeah, that still looks a bit more sane. So the current
How many tests have failed?
4. So they're the
4.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because now we're reading high score off the initial value, which is 0. So we need to now say increment the high score.
Oh yeah, we didn't even put that code in before, did we?
No.
Oh, right, that's just an action then. So
Yeah.
in actions, increment score and check for bonus life. Yeah, so
I'm guessing in there.
increase score should return. Oh no, we just do it after increase score, can't we?
Yeah, so I think in there we just check the current score. If the current score is over the bonus score, just increment that as well.
Yeah.
Or just set it.
Yeah, you can have public and private interface members.
Oh, okay. What does a private interface member do?
You have to put an implementation in the interface.
Oh, is this for the yeah, okay. So this
okay.
is for the interfaces with implementations, isn't it? For when you can give default implementations for it.
Yeah. So if they're private, you can put default in.
Yeah. I don't get any UK use case what I'd ever use that for. Except for one example what they show about login.
Yes.
And I'm never going to use that. Should this be in game state of update high score? Or should we actually just go to the storage and say, go update it?
Well, test to pass.
Yeah, so you replace that. Because I feel like it's not part of the current game, is it? Game
no, it's
state.
a bit weird. Yeah.
It's actually its own bit of state outside of the game.
So maybe the game storage thing then, yeah, we write to game storage, and it also has like a flush method on it, which you can call when the game finishes. So if you want to persist it at that point, you can do, or you can persist it as it goes. If that makes sense. Because like on a stream, you have a flush, don't you, when you want to persist that stream. That will pass, yeah.
Yeah, that's all passing. What was the last test?
We can reload. Well, we did two things, didn't we? We can load a high score from storage, and it doesn't increase after.
Yeah.
So we can either do more tests about pills, fruit, and ghosts, or we can test that the storage is updated with new high scores.
Yeah, I think we should test this storage is updated with new high scores.
Okay.
So well, actually, technically, if we start a new game, if you die, it'd still be the high score, wouldn't it? That would actually still work. But we don't test anything what set the high score on the current object, the current storage, do we? So I feel like we should test that we call in set high score on the storage.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to go add. We add something to this interface of set high score, taking in high score.
Don't avoid.
Should really be tasks because they could be outbound.
I was just thinking that.
Call an API. Change everything in the world.
Apart from, it's always a pain that because that's in the constructor, isn't it? Is it in there? We call it from the constructor of game, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Well, game state. But maybe it shouldn't be in there anyway. Maybe the high score shouldn't live in game settings anyway. I think maybe we should go. Maybe.
Oh no! All it needs to do is it needs to ask the game setting storage each time for the high score, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Each time the score changes, or each game?
Each tick, isn't it? But most of the time, it'd just take it from memory.
No, because we don't need to do that because we can just pass into the actions like everything else. So we can just pass in the high score storage thing into here,
Yeah.
And then instead of setting it on the actual game state, because it's not really part of the current game, it's like more of a over the top of the whole game, the session kind of thing. And we can just store it on there. And the game itself could just read from that value as well. So
yeah, the only thing I was slightly nervous about the reading, because ideally it would be an asynchronous call. It's just you're then creating a new state machine every tick, aren't you? It's not going to be particularly efficient.
No.
Why would you be doing that?
Because we check that we read the high score every tick, don't we, on the UI?
Yeah.
And so if that calls game.highscore and that passes the call on to storage.getHighscore.
Yeah.
But ideally that would be a task method, asynchronous.
Yeah.
And then that's going to create all that plumbing behind the scenes, isn't it? On every call.
Oh yeah, I suppose. When really you want it just to only update. Maybe you can raise an event instead, and that just updates.
Yeah, I mean, why not keep it in game state, and then just persist it out at the end? So when the game finishes, when you call the game completed, persist it out at that point. Is it a high score if you close it whilst it's running, whilst you play it? Or is it only a high score when you've completed?
Or died.
Yeah, or complete the game as in run out of life.
I guess that's up to us, isn't it?
You need to persist it. You only need to call one event at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And you only need to call one event when the game is created. One to get it, and then one to persist it out after each game's finished. Because you'll never
say you're running this game on two people's machines, right?
Yeah.
And that's calling up to some APIs to kind of store it.
Yeah.
Then they're both going to load the current score when it's initial starts the application. But then what happens? It's never going to. If one wins, it's not going to let the other one. Yeah, I think it needs to set it.
In which case, you'd have to, if relying for that, we'd have to call it X each time we need it.
Seems better in engineering.
Because we need to call it even when we're not changing the score. Because if the other person gets a high score whilst we're stood still, our high score needs to update.
Yeah. Well, people plumb Signal R into it to push the notifications down.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I feel like.
I think the only decision we really need to make is: do we save the high score every time it is increased, or do we just save it at the end of the game, or do we let storage engine decide when it's going to save it?
Well, I was thinking the storage engine should decide when it's going to save it. So if you're doing it in memory one, that could save it all the time. If you're doing it one to disk, that could save it all the time. It's local. But even if you're doing it one network bound, then it'd just kind of have some kind of bounce rate of like saying every so often go push it up.
I think we just tell it when the game's finished.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe it's better to say when the game's finished.
Yeah.
Go tell the storage to increment the high score.
Yeah.
Well, and keep a local one.
Yeah. So then you have to either die. Yeah, you'd have to just die.
Yeah.
There'd be no kind of other way around it. So maybe that's the next test then, right?
Yeah. That's certainly the easiest implementation as well. So.
Yeah. I totally agree.
That's still fine. Yep.
Because we've got a game completed notification, a game ended notification.
Well, we've got a dead, dying, whatever notification and a new beginning a new game.
It's dying though, that isn't it? In a new game. Have we got a new game? Yeah, we must have a new game. What do we call it? Beginning. Oh, yeah.
You could even save it after each loss of life.
I think on game ending, I think that's probably the best time. What am I doing? Oh, I was going to create a list of ints.
At which point, technically, the only thing you need to do is establish the game notification.ending triggers. Because the high score persisting is down to the implementation of which high score system you're using.
Yeah, we just need to make sure the method gets called.
That's only the method, isn't it?
Yeah, so what I was going to do is just implement on this test, add the high score into the list, and just check that it's got one in the list, and that high score is the one that we actually died on.
Okay. Yep. So if we copy this, no, we don't want that test. We want one of the ones where we actually probably want one that's got a ghost. That one then. So the high score gets saved when the game ends. The new high score. So
killing the ghost should do, shouldn't it?
Yeah, so we don't need that one that's actually no, in fact we just need
left.
We don't need that pill. Oh yeah, we need something. Oh no, we need a coin actually. We don't want a pill, we want a coin.
No. That's fine, just put the power pill there.
Yeah, so we eat coin, then we get eaten by ghost. That's what I was going to do. Oh yeah, initial lives, that was it. Do we start with 0? Is it
no, initialize what is that's 1. So when you get to 0, you're dead.
Okay. So then we get killed.
Then we should be dead. Then we've got to await dying.
To wait to finish dying, do you think?
Wait. What's it called?
It's a wait to finish dying.
Wait to finish dying, isn't it? And then doesn't call respawn after that, does it?
No, because we're dead. Then we go to attract mode, don't we? I think.
You'd be wait.
So we probably check in there that
Wait to finish dying.
Okay. High score, because we're updating the high score, so now that equals score. And then down here,
yeah, so that should just have 1 value for high score, shouldn't it? Because I've been called that once.
Yeah. I think, however, problem is this method here, wait for to finish dying, could mess up high score, couldn't it?
Why?
I'm just saying you don't know. I'm just checking that this assertion actually makes sense.
We could do with finding out what the high. We could probably do with picking up the high score somewhere here.
Yeah, into a variable and then asserting it down there.
Right there. It's not really expected high score. It's
well, it's current. It's like
current new high score.
Yeah, new high score would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's better. And then we might as well check it's what we think it is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that works, doesn't it?
I think so.
We can add a method to game harness to say expect high score is sort of thing. Tidy up to that.
Oh yeah. Need to add that one. Can I do that? So, oh, I don't even know that. It's just a method.
So we're going to put a test around the in-memory high score storage. Is that the?
Yes. Eventually.
Oh, we've missed off fact, have we? No.
No.
We've got something else. Oh, this is down here. These methods put set high score. That probably needs to be
Public method on.
Yeah, set
right,
high score
okay.
on line 171.
Yeah, really get rid of that. I just.
Yeah.
How come the last time it didn't complain about the get on there?
Maybe because it didn't take any parameters. Maybe I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess because it returns a value and doesn't really look like a test. So that failed, did it?
Oh yeah, and that's void. Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
Yep. So that
we
expects one
it.
item. There's nothing in there.
So back in actions then, I guess.
Right at the end of action.
Yeah, so I think we can plumb in the actual thing into here. I think that should be in here. The I. Oh no, we got iGame settings anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. So we. Was it game over? Or?
Yeah, no, I was just looking for that.
When dying transition.
Begin dying?
We have when it's in the state machine, we have when during dying. If we get to the tick, we just transition to respawn or transition to attract. In the state.
Maybe we should actually add it as to the into the game state machine of saying when entering attract, set high score. No.
Is it when entering attract?
It is.
It's when.
Well, don't we just replace line 103? Well, we just need a method in. Well, yeah, we just need to call a game over method. Action dot.
That's a game ended.
So what? So we can actually just
enter a game ended method.
Yeah.
And just call game ended instead.
Yeah.
So think actions. Or end game.
Yeah, end game probably. And do we need what's context of instance of that game state?
Well, content instance is the state.
We need that. Yeah.
I think that's the only thing we need, actually. So yeah, let's just input that. And then here, I guess we can just do game settings dot high score storage dot set instance that's high. Is it a high score?
Yep.
I think that should do it.
Oh no. What's the error? Is it?
It says there's
nothing.
One, but found an empty collection. Do we not die? End game.
Save it.
Yeah, pretty sure I saved them all. Let's just try again.
Do we give it time to leave dying? Is that the...
That's what I was wondering, whether we... No, wait to finish dying, because you...
Wait to finish dying.
Yeah, because it's already in dying, isn't it?
Eat by go.
Eat and by goes, transition to dying. Dying when the tick. Do that. We've got the lives right, haven't we?
Well, don't we have to wait to finish dying?
Yeah.
Is it in there? Wait to end of a wait and enter a track mode. That's what we want. Don't we? Do we need that as well in the like 2-4 second wait?
Yeah, quite possibly.
No.
No.
Oh. No. We got one life.
Jumbo lives is greater than 0. Respawn. Yeah, it's before we enter a trap mode anyway, I think.
Yeah. It goes as we come out of dying, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't enter a track mode until that other last.
Yeah, that's true. You do need. Yeah. We've got a method that checks we're in. As a.
You could use it.
Ensure game status. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That should be dying, I think. Oh no, that should be.
It's wait to finish dying, so it should be.
Oh, do we not?
At that point, that should be a track.
But this does check it, doesn't it? So this wait to enter track mode ensures the game doing the track.
I think wait to finish dying and enter track mode are the same thing, other than obviously you can't be waiting to enter a track mode if you've got lives left.
But what I'm saying is this is actually waiting because it's ensuring the game state is a track. So we're getting past that bit because it's assuming it's saying that there's only one item in the collection, not one item in the collection.
Yeah.
So something isn't wired up right.
It's not wired up right. It's not calling it.
Oh, I know what it is. We're not set it on the game state. Game setting is not using the current storage.
In the storage.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Game state should be in dying, not a track mode. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's there. Because it's getting to a track. When it finishes dying, it's already getting there.
So that should be just that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do. Do you need that ensure game status? Doesn't wait and attend to track mode assert that anyway?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so you need that. Okay, so that gets a new high score.
Did it pass?
Yes.
Yeah.
We probably need some tests around the in-memory game storage now then, because otherwise it won't work.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm just going to throw the class at the bottom of here and then get to pull it out.
Okay.
Whoa, there's like a massive like bee flying around me. Okay, that was random. In memory, high score storage.
We already have this, don't we? Oh, test. Sorry. Right.
Yeah, there's tests.
Yeah.
Well, this can be pretty simple.
Yeah, just call store and no load. I guess we assert it's 0 to begin with, and then
Do we want these to be async?
we can now. Well,
we can, because when you start the game, so you know when you first initially load the first initial state and we tick over, we could just pull that state out of the transition and go to the storage thing.
I think there should be asynchronous,
or you could just do it on pressing start as well. Oh no, start game, I think. I'm curious.
Yeah, I think there should be asynchronous. Because otherwise, if you end up calling an API or something, that gets a bit nasty because all the methods are asynchronous, aren't they?
Yeah, this is going to pass into anyway.
Yeah.
I don't really want to make it fail because it's here. Well, let's just change it to prove it. And then so it should have it set to 0.
Yeah.
So I guess
Did you mean to edit that test? I think you swapped tests, haven't you?
The wrong one.
So that bit. Oh, we probably can't both cut and paste. We'll find out in a second.
I think you can.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
It's undo that you can't do.
Yeah.
It'd be a bit weird if we both shared the same clipboard.
Yeah.
Let's just format this file. It's amazing. Don't format it. Okay, so we can run that on. This one will fail.
I see. I don't like it. The dots don't line up. I've got different styles.
Oh, do you want to the lineup?
Well, I normally do. Bit of that. I'm not that fast. It still runs the same.
I don't know, actually. Sometimes it depends how long this line is. If the line is pretty long, I think I usually end up like if it's over here, I'd probably inline it. Or maybe drop it back one line. So I knew that that was part of the same thing.
I think it depends what it is, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, show you in front of that.
Yeah. I can't turn caps lock off.
Yeah, this would be setting out there. Yeah, so I suppose for these ones, I always do like that, actually.
Yeah, I'll do those. Yeah. Again, depending on how long the line is.
Depends on the line, yeah. If it's a bit short, I just put it on one line.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have crazy linting rules, I don't care. That does my head in.
Yeah, we've got quite strict rules at work.
Yeah, we do as well. Like I literally removed loads of code today, and I spent probably about half an hour just fixing about 100 linting issues.
Yeah.
Like like things like trailing spaces after like stuff we've got rules for that and things like that.
The worst one's comments, where you have to have a blank line before a comment and a space after the start of the comment, and if comments more than one line, you have to use the other type of comment, and so you can't just quickly comment some code out to test something.
Because it breaks the linter. Yeah, it's really annoying that, to be fair. I feel like I like kind of strict-ish rules around like kind of formatting, but not like overly crazy. Just so I can read it. Like rules. I don't think we need anything else on this. Do we need to make this show this? So if we had this set that said 3, 2, 1, should the high score still be 3? Or should this not care?
It shouldn't care. That's not its problem, is it?
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Because otherwise, every implementation of high score storage would have to have that logic in.
Yeah. Just checking. So let's just save all them. We can commit that.
Yeah, it also means the game can reset the high score.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Okay, so we got that. Do we need any more tests around high score? I think that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do we want to try to refactor this into being asynchronous?
Yes, I think so.
So if we just go take this interface, wrap this in a task.
Yep.
A task. And then things will implement it. Yep, and then there's the memory one.
You have to return task.completed task.
Well, you could do that actually.
You could.
Technically, it's right.
Yeah. I think probably just do it on 2 lines.
Oh, I'm making a mess of my file now. Right. So that's all right. So I guess we could just build it and see what fails. Actually,
yeah.
Let's just update the memory test actually, because these just need to wait. Oh, that's lovely. Thanks. So yeah, I was just going to run the test.
Okay.
Oh, not test. Just maybe run the test. It probably won't build.
Might get warnings. Oh yeah, we've probably got. Yeah. Yeah, because we're returning a task instead of an int now.
Oh, I didn't mean to press debug on that thing. That question anyway. It's fine.
Yeah.
So this is our first problem.
Yeah, that's a challenging one. The other one's the easy one. Yeah. Well, to begin with, we could just do dot result on that, just to get it passing.
Well, you could do the.
Yeah. Continue with.
Oh, it's high score equals. That would technically work.
Yeah, so that's because in actions end game,
You don't await that.
Yep. Similar change the state machine.
Yeah.
So that needs to be and then a sync, is it? Yep.
Yep. 3 for left. Well, you don't have to.
Wait now. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Fix that.
Current Haskell should be 1,000, but not.
It's not reloading it then, is it? That code. We need to refactor that now anyway, don't we? I think.
This one's not reloading.
No, it's not working, is it? Is that because it's happening later?
Yeah, could be. Who knows? Sometimes in the future.
Yeah, at some point, yeah.
Well, we could take it out.
I think we just do that on game start, don't we?
Yeah.
Which is on game, I guess. That's a shame. That's not synchronous either.
Start game. That one.
Yeah, it's not synchronous. Where's the press start method? Is that must be. Press start is at the bottom there.
Well, I don't think we need it in these ones anyway, right? Because I think if you go to the game state machine and we go to the initial state, initially tick, initially tick transition to a track mode. Can't we put it in here?
Yeah, we can do.
Just say, because this is the first initial tick.
Yeah.
Just go fetch the. What do you want to do?
We probably want method reload high score in that case. Only, yeah, it all wants to be.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is high score.
Oh, so there's probably a setter on there, isn't there? Update. Oh, update. Yeah, it's got. Should we split it up?
Does mean we need the initial tick though.
Yeah, I think everything's got that. Or not.
Still a failing. Let's have a look. So this has the initial one.
Maybe we need a knob in there. We could try. Oh, I can't type game on this.
What are you typing?
I'm trying to write game harness.nop to force an initial tick.
Is start game, press start. Oh no, I know why. We don't start. These need to start off initial then.
Yeah.
Because they don't.
I was wondering about that actually, and whether or not we ought to change all the tests to start off as initial.
Well, I don't think all of them need to. I think that like some of them benefit from not being.
Yeah, it's just part of tests not being particularly clear as what they're doing. That's all. But
just shove a press start in every single one.
Yeah.
Because then you need to do a press start here, and that. So you do.
But you could do it. You could do rather than press start. You could do a get game going, which does a press start and a not and a.
Yeah. Wait for attract mode and yeah.
Yeah. So I just have a get game going method that just does lumps those together. Because we're not quite worried about how it gets going. We just need it to be in play mode.
Still.
We're dying.
Oh, this is a different test. Wait a minute. I think we edited the wrong test. I think it's this one. Yeah, so even though it's probably the same thing. So initial.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be in there, was it?
Nah.
Take that one out.
Should I take out the that test wasn't failing before, was it?
Work out how many spaces there are there.
There's some stuff on not saved, so let's start it again. Yeah, still works. That's cool.
Yeah, it just feels a bit artificial setting the initial status in all our tests. Because that's sort of an implementation thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you've gone to such length to actually run it as a game. It seems then silly to be forcing the game to get to at a certain state before you start running your test.
I think it's because we didn't have the stuff prior to like initial attract mode and other things.
Yeah.
Up front, so then we was already building it from people walking around as soon as you start, before you even press start.
And also, I think it's quite nice with the test that there's not much hidden away now, and so it's just that's one of the few things that is now hidden is the initial status. It's not. It's almost like the default initial status should be the initial or whatever, and then you override it if you want it different in a test. It's sort of a bit back to front, I think.
Yeah, but I think most things start up as alive, don't they?
Yeah.
Is that?
I suppose it's done as a quick fix, isn't it? So
yeah,
you're not able to go back and change all the tests.
Yeah.
But then probably the best thing to have done was just to bite the bullet and put the press start on the front of each one. But we didn't have a game harness then.
No.
Yeah. Well, that's it. We've got a game harness now, so you could actually just like have a method.
That could be
on
my
there
homework for the next session. Is go through the test again.
You probably find out when you do it, it doesn't actually take very long to do it.
I don't think it will.
Online.
Yeah, because you could just have a method on here which says boot to alive or something.
Yeah.
And this just takes control of like
all the bits
making so you get to that state, and then you'd only need that one method call.
The nice thing about it is, not that we'll do it now, but if you then introduce another state, then boot to alive can take into account that other state.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Saying that, if you did it from Visual Studio, and you get all the red marks on the test, and you just click straight on them and just add the code in, probably won't take that long.
Yeah. I think you just rename press start temporarily, don't you, or something like that.
Yeah, to find other ones that don't do it. Yeah, that's true. So let's just run that, and then you can see us die, and then restart the game.
Nice.
Maybe can do something I do really well. Kill myself.
You have to get a higher score the second time.
Oh, it's not working. What? Space is not working. Oh, what's going on? You must have broke something.
I wish to change direction event. It's not handled. It's not starting, is it?
That's got to be loading the high score. Must have broken it then.
Changed. But hang on, everything else would break. All the tests would break if that's what's doing it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have we hooked up the in-memory storage for runtime?
Would it not just throw an exception?
No, it's just got not open text section.
Yeah. I think you might be throwing an exception.
After rendering is right, isn't it?
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, there's
weird exception to get that. I'm guessing it's swallowing that exception when it actually runs.
Yeah.
And then the other exceptions.
I think it swallows it in stuff like form, doesn't it? Form's got
No, we've hooked up exception and that. I think it's probably because it's an awaited task somewhere that's getting lost.
Yeah, better. Don't get too much score.
You got 340 to beat then, right?
I'm not dead yet, am I?
Oh no.
I just have to keep dying for a bit and then beat that.
Yeah, is this going to test anything?
It should do.
Because when a new game starts, we're not going to reset the score or anything anyway. We're going to load it. We're not.
No, but if you get a higher score than that, it
Yeah.
should keep track of it.
Yeah, it's not going to check the persistence because we're not persisting it, but it'll check everything else.
Need to sort that graphic out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did I 3 times?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Only the ghost flashed. Well, infinite it goes up. It's fine.
We haven't got that logged as an issue, have we? The ghost flash, or do we?
I don't know actually.
No, we haven't.
How would you know they're coming out of transitioning?
We'd have to expose the time or an event or something, wouldn't we? Back to the UI.
Yeah.
We don't even do that currently, do we? We don't.
Well, we know how long they've got remaining
Because
we've got a countdown timer in effect.
Oh, what we could do is just, I suppose, how long does it flash after? A second or whatever?
different on different levels, but it's generally.
Well, frightened time's 7 seconds, so I guess in.
Frightened time.
In fact, we don't.
Well, what I was thinking is you could just have a property on Ghost, which is transitioning.
Isn't it another state on Ghost? Yeah, that's what you mean, isn't it? Or it's another status, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm thinking we probably need to put a state machine in for the ghosts.
Extension of edible, really.
Well, this has got 6 things which are checking edible. So things what are checked is edible. We need to make sure so it checks if it's edible or transitioning to live.
Which is what that does, isn't it? That edible function. We're doing that anyway. We've got 14 references of the edible rather than the, I'm thinking of the edible flag rather than the edible state.
Edibles. Oh, do we still have that around?
Yeah, it was in that line that you just opened, literally there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, okay. That's actually makes it a bit easier because we could just say if it's edible or it's transitioning to live.
Yeah.
Oh,
or transitioning from edible.
Yeah, you can do ghost state as frightened and ghost state as frightened end of frightened, finishing frightened. Frightened. Something else.
Frightened 2. So that would be quite easy to do. Except for things which are checking direct status. Maybe we could just add a. Maybe this should be renamed to frightened, frightened and transitioning from frightened, and then we could do status dot is edible, and it just checks it's in them 2 values.
Yeah. What was checking edible? Because I think some of them are.
This one.
Ghost.
That's the ghost itself.
Yeah. What does it check it for though?
Well, that's just true false.
Well, that's the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, but I mean,
action gets ones to set back to live.
Right. So that's edible still. That we don't even need ghost status. We may as well just use ghost.edible for that.
Yeah. Well, it'll be actually that new transition, that new state, but you should be able to transition both of them really.
Yeah.
That's just copying it.
Yeah.
That's the one with the UI for colors.
Yeah, we do need to do that one.
This is.
Just use ghost.edible for that one.
This is just the test to select the ones.
Yeah. No,
to check the ones in score, ones in edible. Oh, yeah. So one's running back to the house. No, one's being eaten and the other one's still edible. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine because we won't have got to the transition.
Yeah. So that the transition not happened.
Again,
this looks like the same thing, similar thing. Yeah. So I think we could probably do this. Do you want to do this instead as well? And I think he's just writing a test on Ghost, and when it's transition to edible, we just don't go all the way to say it's becomes unedible at that point. We just go to a bit before it, a second or two, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then we just check it's in a status of transitioning or something. And I think that's a quick.
Yeah. Do we do?
How do we actually implement it? I guess is the only
change frighten time, and we do, or do we leave frighten time where it is and subtract the flash time from it?
I'm guessing we could have it in tick of where were we?
I know we'd have to have a
Draw frighten.
The number of tests that will use things like frighten times and stuff like that. I suppose it doesn't matter because none of them use the actual time.
So we could just add it to here. Oh, I'm following you. So we could have it to here. So instead of just when, we could say when it's ticked. But if we're 1 second before or 2 seconds before the time to change state, we make them change their status. Else, if it's over that time, we just make them not frightened.
Transition. Yeah.
That works.
I think it's should be quite easy. And it's just, I think it's just one test, hopefully. I say this, but then we probably just end up destroying the code base and changing everything.
10:30, almost there.
Yeah.
Doing it? I'll put the issue in so that it's there anyway.
I guess we can close the other issue off now.
Handle game over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's already in.
New issue. Ghosts. Should flash. Before.
Right. So we've got to find a similar test then.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be eating not eating, I guess. I know it's going to be in the pills, maybe.
Yeah.
Test.
Pill test. And I'll click sample twice.
Sorry, I just muted myself by trying to pass.
All Go should change to edible when PacMan is. All Go should change direction. Yeah, it's not in here, is it? All Ghosts.
Is it ghost test maybe?
I mean, there's plenty of all Go should change to edible. It's an extension of that, really, isn't it?
Yes.
So one.
So I think it's just should transition to edible, and then we tick a bit further over, and then we think that they should be in a different state at that point.
So it's 114 is a fairly clean one. In PowerPoint, just a little bit lower down. That one, that's fairly clean because we can drop the number of ghosts out. And after that,
we need to put an extra pill in there, which is miles away.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait. How come there's only one? Oh, there's this game setting's got pills already set up here.
Yeah.
Yep. How's that work?
The other default.
Yeah, this is. I think. Somewhere we add a coin that's like at 50-50 or something, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's copy that one into. I guess that should go into ghost test because it's the states on the ghost changing.
It is a ghost, really, isn't it, rather than a. Do you want to copy it over?
Yeah, I can copy it. Ghost should go into just before alive.
Do you want it? Yeah.
So that should just be status and ghost status dot. What are we going to call it? Transition?
Do you want that?
There's only one transition there.
Yeah, we only want one. Do we want multiple ghosts?
Well, yeah, we can multiple ghosts.
Yeah.
Proves it works for them, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that's wait for frightened. It's not frightened. There is a wait for frightened time to complete, but so it's a.
Yeah, I think we'll have to do something like game settings dot frightened time in seconds.
Add seconds minus.
Yeah, but this isn't actually a time span, is it? What I want time span dot from
seconds. That's because it's taking a bit off that you put in.
Oh, what's happened? Oh, I was following you. Oh no. I wish you wouldn't jump when you're actually typing, because clearly you don't want to actually follow somebody when you're actually pressing a key on the keyboard. Yeah, so that would be exactly that. We want less than that.
You're just slightly less, don't you?
So we want to do, if we did less 2 seconds, at this point we should be frightened, shouldn't we?
Yeah. We want to be still. I guess we should be still edible, but in transitioning.
We should be edible there, and then if we wait another just 1 second.
Yeah,
we should now be in transition.
Yeah, we should always be edible all the way through.
Oh yeah, I wasn't actually going to search for edible. I was going to do.
Yeah, I was thinking more if you did it that way and just put all. Oh, right. It's wait for. It's not from the starting point, is it? I was thinking on this one, if you just wait for one. It depends what we do as the frightened time, the transition time. That I'm thinking that 2 should probably come out.
Okay. But then we're not going to be. I was just going to say we start off as being frightened.
Yeah. No, I was thinking more in terms of doing.
Oh, okay. And then less a bit more. Because that'd be on the boundary.
It does change, that's all.
Okay.
When we come to implement the game getting harder and stuff, that's the.
Yeah. So then we can off that if we say then do dot subtract times. We can tidy this up in a bit, maybe. From milliseconds yet. So that's just before that. And then the amount we wait down there is then just slightly more than that to push us over the boundary.
Should that be an add there?
That should be subtract, yeah.
Runtime seconds.
because that's the time when we would change, and we want a period in time that's just before that.
Just slightly before, yeah.
1 second. I need a bigger screen. Need my normal resolution back to read now. So,
There's loads
fright and time. Fright and time in settings. Take away the fright and time flashing seconds. Subtract. Oh right, okay, yeah. Sorry.
Subtract something.
Just before it.
Yeah.
And then you're ticking it over. I think these should be just checking this edible status to be true. And I think this should be an exception as well, not
it should, yeah.
Assertion. Can I just change that around? Maybe that should be actually in the actual game harness.
Wait for just before.
Yeah, I'm going to pull this into
if you do a wait for just before on 12:17, should there be a method for waiting that amount that we just before'd?
Yeah, I think so.
So wait for just after, but not pass it a value.
Yeah.
And it just adds whatever the equivalent of just before is.
Yes.
Sounds a bit odd, wait for just after, because just after what?
Yeah.
Without passing it.
Wait for remaining time. I don't know.
Wait for just before. Wait for.
Finish
just
waiting.
Before what? The thing is, it's not very contextual because you're saying wait just before. Well, you're not saying what for, and you're just passing the time anyway. So you're just doing a wait for anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
Wait for just.
I feel like it should just be just wait for, because this test is controlling it anyway, isn't it? Like that's kind of what this test. The game harness is more about kind of progressing the certain stages of the game, as this is the test, what we're doing. So we're not saying go to this part of the game. We're actually saying wait a bit just before this, because we know.
Well, you could even have wait till Ghost's flash starts or something.
Well, it depends if you want to just wait till Ghost flash or whatever.
If you do wait
Ghost
till
transition.
If you do wait till.
Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you do a wait till Ghost flash, and then pass the frighten flash time in, and the frighten time in seconds.
No, because that should be internal to it, because it knows about the game settings. But if you do wait till Ghost transition or whatever we're going to call it, it'll be already there, like everything else is, and then we'll just do the assertion. You won't get this bit in the middle.
Yeah, the only thing is you don't know whether it's transitioned immediately.
No, so that's.
Although other tests would fail. But in isolation, you wouldn't know whether it's transitioned immediately.
No.
Yes, you
so
do.
It depends what...
You know it's transitioned there. When you eat the pill, we know it's gone to frightened.
We don't know it's gone to frightened.
You don't insert it, but you can do you could do a check on 12:11 and then do a wait for flash.
Yeah, so we could do that, you're right.
Yeah, you could do what David's just stuck in.
Oh, I just undid it.
Sure, it all goes to edible.
And then we just do the wait for ghost transition.
Yeah, wait for ghosts. It does ensure all ghosts are edible. Just check that they're edible and not in transition. Because the assertion you want to do is that they're not in transition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or you could have, so that's just wait now, isn't it? Wait for. The other way. Oh.
You could just put an ensure all ghosts are in state and then pass in the state as well.
What? Why am I? Oh, I managed to type somewhere really weird now. Just the other way would do that, wouldn't it? Have some method.
Yeah, but the thing is that I feel that just before isn't telling you anything is before.
We're abstracting out that 200. It's how you pull that 200 back out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I feel it doesn't read well. I don't get, if I just read this without talking or listening, I wouldn't really understand what this time is just before.
It's only that this subtract 200 looks a bit weird. But...
Or do we need to even do that? Or can we just say ensure the ghosts are edible and then just go wait for transition period, ghost transition, and then do the assertion? So do we need to wait just before and then go after, or can we just go?
The only thing
we know they're edible here.
The only thing I suppose you're checking is that they've not gone into frightened earlier than they should have.
Yeah.
They've not gone into flash earlier than they should have. But then, as soon as you're only doing it one tick, we're doing a time-based tick.
Unless you could do milliseconds or anything, couldn't you? So you would never.
Yeah, we could do one tick and ensure that they're still edible, and then pass in and then ask it for the frightened flash time next.
Yeah, that's a better way of doing it. Yeah, yeah. Let's do one tick here. So we eat the pill.
I'm sure the ghosts are edible. Do one tick, and they should still be edible.
Yeah. Okay. I assume something's moving somewhere.
Yeah, because they will all move.
Yeah. Then we check that again. So so that we don't need either of those 2 lines, then, do we?
And then you need to wait for... No, that's all right. You can take that out because the ghost should all be edible.
Yeah, no, we just want that down there. I've been lazy. I was going to type it again.
Right. Well, we're going to put that there, or we're going to type, like we've got wait for frightened, time to complete, and we're just going to stick that in the game harness.
Yeah.
Wait for ghosts to flash.
Yeah. Or should we do flash, not?
It should be flash, shouldn't it? Transitions a bit. Ghost should flash just before alive. That would be much better, shouldn't it? Like that. Doesn't that read better?
Yeah, I agree.
In which case, the state should be.
Yeah, I've just updated the state to be flash. Yeah.
But if you wanted to be more precise, you could call it edible flash. Because it's still edible. I don't know.
They don't flash any other time, do they?
No.
Nah, flash good. So we're pulling this out into another method which says wait for flash.
When do we ever going to do it again, doesn't it?
Have we ever done anything second time?
I think it just reads better though, didn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah, no, it does. Okay.
Yeah, especially when you got to the length of doing it. It's doing the same.
So let's just pull that into its own method.
Yeah.
Technically, we're running out of tests to do.
Oh. Well, I copied that, so I don't get why it's just pasted not implement exception for me. It's nice of it. I'll just try undo that again. Copy. Paste. Yeah, thanks. What's it called? Wait for.
Yeah, but you also need all the other gump around it, don't you? Can't find one now. Oh, you were just going to call.
I was going to call wait for.
Ah, okay. Is that it? You need the debug code. So.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We can do that. I can just take that and just do it.
Just replace delay with whatever that was. Yeah.
What's this? What are we putting this to? 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to. Right. So that's all I'm going to do them. So we should be able to just run that and it works, right? Well, it should fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, definitely failed.
Tuple must contain 2 elements.
Who cares?
It's a bit weird. Line 1.
That's a quirky. Yeah, there it is.
What?
In brackets.
Random. Oh, I think it does something wrong in the.
Oh, yeah. A type issue. Now's probably a time and delay is a int.
It's an int, isn't it?
Int. What's now?
Oh,
right.
It wants to be time span.
From seconds.
Yeah.
No, but no async.
It needs to be an async method, yeah.
Mine's still got red lines on it.
Mine didn't have any at all.
My Ghost Builder's got red lines on it as well, for some reason.
Got red tests. Yeah, so they're all inedible, so that's working. So we can go game state machine, and then we can just put it in here, I think. So I think we can pull this tick out and do that as a when. Oh, an if, sorry.
Yeah.
If.
So if the time is gone over the current time span, then and do that, and then do that. And then if that minus
game settings dot flash time or something. Is it game settings?
Do we have game settings in here?
Game.
Oh, it's just settings, isn't it?
What is? You need a.
There'll be time, that isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that needs to be just an else if, because that's gonna fire
every time.
Straight afterwards. Yeah, every time, yeah. Is it like an else if else? Like to.
Hang on, what's?
Well, we want.
Unless you had two whens with different predicates.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah, that might be better if you have no, because we still want.
Well, you'd have to check less than or equal, wouldn't you? You'd have to check both ways round.
You're only going to change the ones which are in frightened anyway.
Yes.
So it's not.
But you still got to check, like you still have to check. So if you're checking that it's over the frightened time.
Yeah.
You've still got to say, is it over?
You'd have to say, yeah.
If it's under this, right? And
yeah, you need an and
over
in one of the checks, don't you?
So it needs to be that is under that, and the context says now is over. Settings.
For that, we might want to pull this into a method.
Well, since it's bigger than my screen, I'll just zoom out for a second so I can see it all. So questions dot make ghosts flash.
Shit.
The first check. The checking for against time to change state doesn't matter, does it?
The first, yeah. Well, we need to check. We need to check this one.
Yeah, that's fine. But the second part, the first check, that one,
this one, yeah,
doesn't matter.
We do. We need to check that it's not. Oh, unless it drops straight out. I don't know if it's dropped straight out.
It wouldn't matter if it did anyway, because when you do make ghost flash, you're only going to change the ones which are in the frightened state.
Yes, that's true.
You're not going to change.
We could have eaten one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after it's happened once, you're not going to do it again.
That's a good point.
It's a bit of an odd method because you're going to do make ghost flash every single tick. You're going to call the bit of code. Rather, it should only really happen once.
Well, that's because we don't have a sort of a state machine for ghosts, though, isn't it?
So that's what's what I've got. I'm missing some bracket somewhere or something.
Yeah. That one's that one. That one. It's another one you need to end during frightened. Yeah.
Yeah. Good spot. Zoom back in there.
When it was little, I find it easy to read.
But that's broken loads of our tests because it expects things to be. Oh, I'm guessing this is because it's transitioning into. Oh no, it should transition to this state first.
You know, the thing is, on line 98 of actions, shouldn't that be set to flash?
98.
Oh yeah, my mistake. Yeah, set to flash.
Which doesn't exist, does it?
No. Where's the thing? Where's set to score? That's the one I want.
Yeah. No, you don't want that because you still want it to head home. You don't want it to switch into chase strategy.
Oh yeah, because
all you want is this status, and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, so it wants to be.
Go with new status.
Well, should we just do with status now? I can just.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Let's create a new method.
You creating it?
Yeah, it's got to. Yeah,
go on, go for it.
I'll go and have a look at some UI.
Yep, that does it.
Tricky one.
I still don't fully get why there was loads of test failing still. It's like they flipped into
presumably we're searching for stuff to be all ghosts are meant to be edible. Yeah, that type of thing.
Ghost should be flashing just before. Oh, that doesn't
that is
work.
our test.
That's allowed.
Ghost should be flashed just before live.
Let's fix our test first.
Edible is we haven't changed edible to include flash.
Oh yes, that is why.
Okay.
So on ghost, that
quirky fix that we've been.
Yeah. Well, that fixed our test.
Yeah.
Well, we thought some would fail, didn't we?
I expected edible to be false, but found true. Ghost should return to non-edible after a given amount of seconds when eating a Powerball. I'd expect that to still work, that one.
Unless we're checking just for status of edible anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, the status, yes. It said it's edible.
The internal that's looking for the edible status.
No, so this is checking the edible property.
Yeah, I mean, if it's code.
Yeah, like on line 175, for example.
That's not in a test. Okay. In the ghost method where we're actually.
Yeah, if you look in actions.
Yeah.
Well, look where I am, in fact. Yeah, on 175.
175. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Make ghost not frightened. Yeah, so that should actually just be if they're edible.
Yep.
So should we?
Yeah.
If they are edible. That was right? Yes, they are edible.
So
yeah, that might be.
Score was correct.
That might do them all.
Yeah.
If we're lucky.
Yeah.
That was easier than expected.
In the UI render.
Yeah, just you got a couple of things because you can't just change them to flash because they've got to flash. So where we've got our animated, where's the animated? You could do with, is that the only place we use it?
Well, it's this, isn't it? So I guess.
Yeah, there's an extension of that. You also need.
Well, we just have to pop it in here, can't we? Which just says.
You can copy that line anyway, can't you? Let's say / as a minimum.
I'll do it the messy way. And then you can use the flash to see whether it's
get current flash.
So if it's flash, then it's blue. If it's not flash, then it's white.
What's animated?
So if animated because we need it to flash, but they still move. So it has to animate and also, but you don't want it to flash every animation, if you see what I mean. So what I've said is flash every other tick. So bit of a bodge. So if you return based on flash.
Yeah. So if you return flash,
blue flash, otherwise white flash. That'll do it. It's scrappy, but it works.
Excellent. Let's run it. See what happens.
Up correctly.
It can either run or it can just explode. So
I can't think that can't explode it. Here we go.
Oh, that actually works quite well when you eat another pill because it flashed.
Power pill, yeah. A bit concerned about the one on the left-hand side. Was that flash blue or is that just zoom?
Yeah, it flashed. It was like ultra, like strobe flashing.
Is it? At least you get a warning. It's difficult over Zoom because you don't know whether it's flashing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Did it flash?
Yeah, it did flash, but it was like super flashing. And when you eat the extra pill as well, it resets them. So that actually works correctly. So that actually works quite well because we actually do reset it because the status is well, we just reset them all, don't we? All that goes back to edible, except for ones which are score.
Yes.
Score and going home.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So we can close that one straight off.
Yeah.
With the flash speed.
Push that up. Cool. I think we're starting to run out of things, little things to do before we.
Yeah.
Do we have an easy fix for that iOS one where it scrolls the whole board?
I don't have an iOS phone.
My daughter does.
I think it's a CSS change. I think.
So you put it in. I'll test it if you want.
Let me just Google it. Prevent iOS bouncing without disabling scrolling ability. Is this it? Scroll. So this code should stop bouncing as HTML tags that bounce. Yeah.
Oh, just cut and paste it.
What is that?
It's the worst that's going to happen.
Put it in the CSS.
Nothing ever went wrong just pasting random code off Stack Overflow.
So I work.
Blazor.
Every developer's day job. Google, see on some Stack Overflow it's got a tick, copy paste. Right?
Pretty much.
Blazor.
It's in this, yeah, it's in there, isn't it?
So we have on HTML and body, we don't have height. So they both have to have a height. So, okay, can do that. They both have to have a position of relative. Okay, if you say so.
Yeah.
And overflow is hidden on HTML, but overflow on body.
I can't see what the relative's for.
I have no idea. Going by what it says. Oh, it says don't use empty things. One's got that. That one's got that.
You got tag missing.
Well, what I can do is run it in here, then you can try it on your phone directly. Would that work? But then you
need to get it up. You need to push it for me to be able to test it.
Yeah, let me just test it works generally. What is it? Source laser. Just to make sure it looks somewhat usable normally before we push it. Well, it looks about the same to me.
Yeah.
And if I put it into mobile, that looks about the same.
It's not bouncing.
And that still works. Yeah, okay, let's push it.
Push it, find out.
Which one's this one?
93.
I have to wait till I build though.
Yeah.
And then it pushes it up.
And then a little pause as well.
Yeah.
When it actually goes live. So yeah, so go shift flash before changing from front end. You can close that one. Play PacMan sounds. Do you think they work?
There's definitely sound.
There is definitely sound, yeah. And they work better on the Blazor one. Now you have to tap to start, or press spacebar to start, because you actually have an interact. I think it is because if you don't interact with the DOM.
Yeah. Have we hooked up all the sounds?
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so, because that's why we didn't close it originally, because we didn't have bonus lives and things. But
yeah, because we've got Eat Fruit, we definitely hooked that one up.
Yep.
And Extra Pack.
Yeah.
We hooked that one up as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, we've got tests for them, haven't we?
Yes.
To see that the event fires. In which
case,
they
definitely fire. We definitely done those two. But,
so the sound works because it's hooked up anyway, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can probably close it then.
And close sounds and close go shift flash. You can close handle game over.
Yep.
We can close Blazor. Doesn't work well on iPhones.
Maybe.
Where is it? I can't remember. I might even have it somewhere on my history. Let's have a look. Loading. Oh no,
it's not yet. It's not deployed yet, by the way.
It's what?
It's still building and deploying.
Well, don't sign it off here
then. Yeah, it's not even run the build yet.
Although it didn't just play a sound when I died.
I think it runs better on my Samsung phone than it does on the browser.
It still struggles with sound, doesn't it? It doesn't struggle with sound on the desktop, though, does it?
On my Samsung phone, it works really well. But on the desktop, it seems to be a bit sluggish. So I don't really know. There you go. Should have updated the Blazor site now.
Should have done it.
Yeah. Oh no, wait a minute. Deploying it. Has to deploy it first, don't it? It packages it up and throws it across.
That's the next bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't think it goes instantly. No, it's not doing it yet. Give it a couple of minutes. It's
Might add a build number on so we know.
Yeah.
On the thing, know which one it is.
It seems to cache it for a bit, but I'm not sure how long. Give it a minute or so. It's always updated because if you just push it from, you just push the site up to it, it's not instantly what's presented in the browser.
Yeah, well, it does have a CDN in front of all this stuff, so I'm guessing.
Because say if you open it in the browser,
files.
you can just look at the source, can't you? See if it's there or not in CSS.
Yeah. I love how you can save it as well. You can save the picture of what it's currently at by right-clicking and go save image as. You notice that?
That's
because it's a canvas.
You want the CSS, don't you?
Yeah, that's got it.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
Version.
All right, let's do it then. Are we ready?
Oh,
no, it's bouncy.
But then the app one. So body doesn't have a position relative. Position. Oh, no, that's relative. That's a flex box.
It doesn't need any of that anyway, does it? That's just the default.
Yeah. For which we don't really use anything. Yeah, I don't know then. Next Overflow post.
It's 2016 that though. They could have changed it by now. Take the 2019 one. Oh, that's 4 years old, that. Oh, well, the answers might be.
This is commonly known by most.
Different problem.
Yeah. I don't really know what to Google.
It is rubber band, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it's called, yeah.
Rubber band effect.
Rolling, yeah.
How to say maybe this is it. Oh.
That will disable scrolling through the whole page. That would work.
Well, there's no answers. You can't do it.
Yeah, body position fixed, which is complete opposite of what we've just given us.
Yeah.
I wonder if we set it to prevent the default then.
Try position fixed, because what it doesn't do, let me just try something. What it doesn't do is if you put a fixed CSS, like a menu bar, it doesn't drag that around under any circumstance. No, it doesn't. So that's bounce, but sorry, that way in it. Let me see. So that's bounce.
Yeah.
But my menu bar stays still. That will be fixed.
Yeah. So I'm guessing just to add it to the HTML in the body.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's on HTML, does it?
No. Well, depends if anything else. Well, app changes it back to relative, but then that should be fine.
No, because it's running inside app, so that could cause it grief. It would probably actually work if you put it on app, because that menu bar will be sat inside app.
Let's see, made a difference this one. Oh, that seems okay still. Okay, shall I just try and push that one up then? Where it's just fixed.
I'd probably stick app as a fixed rather than because everything's sat. The canvas is sat in app. You could probably just set the canvas as fixed. No, you can't set the canvas as fixed because all the divs on the canvas still on the page still bounce. So.
Let's see if it look all right still. But then again, most things are between drawn, aren't they? So. Thanks. This box is amazing because I can't take it off my screen. And nice, thank you. Run later? Nope. Yeah. I could just run this and ngrok it out to you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to keep pushing it, and then we can just do that. It's probably at 5,000. I'll put in the chat.
Okay.
It should just work the same. Let me just check. Works slower because it's going to a proxy.
It's loading.
Cool.
Slowly.
Yeah, mine's just loaded, so it'll load eventually. Can still do it.
Okay. Does it? Can I, yeah, I can move as well. That does it. Yeah.
I fixed it.
Yeah. Sign it off.
Hey, well done.
Well, that's nice you fixed it. Didn't you write JavaScript? Amazing. Well, that's pushed up anyway, so I'll just close that issue.
Ghost Splash is done, isn't it?
Yeah, Ghost Splash changed. Yeah, done that.
That's nice. Open an arrow, go and close. Okay.
Yeah, it's an unexpected win, that one.
Yeah.
We managed to skirt around the game should get harder.
Yeah, that's the biggie. It's how you tackle it that's going to be
Still got this one as well, where if we walk into one edible ghost and one non-edible ghost.
Yeah, that's the one where the fix is trivial, but writing a test is going to be a complete pain.
Because you don't know what the order is.
Well, you need to get to a point where you walk into a square that contains two ghosts, one that's edible and one that isn't.
Although, does it matter if he eats one of them or not?
Well, I don't know. Depends what.
He eats one of them and the other one jumps on his back whilst he's eating it.
Yeah, it just depends whether you want to get the score or not. I mean, if we don't care, then it's not consistent. It just depends which order, which ghost it is that's edible and which isn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Are we ever allowed just to fix something and not have a test if it's not practical to write the test?
How do you feel it's fixed?
Are you asking?
Well, I don't think it's that hard to get them into the same location.
It's hard to get them in the same location. It's just...
We have to eat a pill, eat a ghost, wait for the ghost to come out of... Right, the ghost would have to return home, come back out again, and then you need to get them both onto the same square before the ghost comes out of frightened.
Yeah.
I mean, no, the ghost comes out of... Yeah, frightened. I suppose you can increase the frightened time, so that's not a problem.
It's not actually too bad because you've got control of the frightened time, and you don't need the frightened time. You can do it on one tick because you can just a whole frightened time.
I guess the hardest bit is to get them to get to the same location as the current ghost, which is frightened, which is walking in some random direction.
Yeah.
Well, in a direction what we specify. The thing is, we could change that to be nullable, so it doesn't have to walk. Like we changed strategy to say it doesn't have to.
Well, we can control it as well, can't we? Because you can say, because we can do more than just random in one direction. We can say, given a choice of direction, go this way, because we've added that in.
Yeah.
So we might be able to get it to head to a particular place.
Could we write a chase strategy that goes to a specific location? So a random strategy that puts him in a particular square, and a chase strategy that always heads to the same square, and then move PacMan into them sufficiently after they've got there. Or does it matter? Is the other one.
Yeah, I feel it like. Do we really care?
Yeah.
It depends what order they're in. Whether the red one, whether the live one's over the time one. It depends what order they're gonna.
Yeah, I feel like this is an issue which isn't really an issue. Maybe we don't really care. Probability. Yeah. We know if you do get on what's edible first. If not, tough luck.
Do a whole session just trying to get that test to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which can be fixed by putting order
by on a list of ghosts. Yeah.
Order by not edible or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other one is the game getting harder. But we'd have to do it with move on tick. So set a tick counter for each object. So it's defaulted to 1, like we said on when we were chatting on Slack.
Yeah.
Defaulted to 1, so that all the tests will still pass then.
It's similar to the code at the top of wherever that move ghost method is, isn't it? Where we do that mod too.
Oh, for the eyes.
No. What does that mean?
When they're walking in frightened mode.
Yes.
Yes, in eyes, frightened. Yeah. When they're in ice, move to ice, by the way. But go.
Where that code is.
Then ghost.
It's in Ghost. Yeah, it's in Ghost, line 54. Well, 56. It's literally just it keeps a tick counter of the current thing.
It's a more general version of that, isn't it? We want.
Yeah. So what we want to basically say is increase the tick counter to much higher than it is now.
Yep.
And then every move is, should we move this ghost or not? Based on the tick counter.
Mm.
And that way PacMan will be moving it on some of the levels. PacMan will be moving like every 9 ticks, where the ghosts will be moving every 10 ticks.
Yeah, so we need the same line on PacMan, wouldn't we?
Yeah. So it's doable in one. I mean, it is just a line like that, isn't it? It's like a mod. So if mod move tick is...
And you just change the 2 to be something else each time.
That's its speed in effect then, isn't it?
Yeah. So the tick count, if the tick count and mod, it's the opposite of speed, isn't it? It's more slow. How slow is it going?
Yeah.
It's how often it's going to move. So we mod that. If it's 0, then we do the move. If it's not, we just drop back out. And then that move counter is 1 by default.
And a test for that would be fairly easy, because we've already got a test that it checks it moves at half speed when they're frightened. So it's the same thing, isn't it? It's a move at the correct speed.
That's it. So that's easily done. Implementing that will be harder than, probably harder than the test on that much, I would have thought.
Mm.
And then the only other test then is that the speed or delay or whatever you want to call it changes with the level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fairly easy too. I guess that's probably the first thing we work on next time, because maybe it probably spiral out of control.
Yeah.
Would we expose for the testing it changes with the level? Would you expose the delay?
Wouldn't it just this know itself? So the game state exposed tick, and this would just be calculated inside of the ghost.
Yeah, no, I just meant about the test to make sure it's actually getting hard, because you need a test to say level 2 is harder than level 1.
Yeah, well,
that'd be just to go faster.
Yeah, I guess so. You just check it takes 3 ticks to move.
It's quite easy to like keep completing levels, though, isn't it? You just put 2 coins next to each other and go eat.
Yes.
Eat.
If you use the fruit test, we've got a test to see that we've got different fruit on the second level.
Yeah, that's true.
We do a similar thing like that, because the speed can come in at the same sort of place where the fruit comes in.
Yeah.
Where we work out what fruit we pull, the same class can work out what the speed should be.
Yeah.
And the other thing that changes when it gets harder is the pill has effect for less time, doesn't it?
You've got, I'll tell you what you've got. You've got the frighten time, which is it's just an array, because it goes all over the place depending on what level it is. Then you've got the number of the length that they flash for in frightened.
Okay.
Because obviously if you bring the frightened down to 1 second, you don't want to flash them for 3 seconds. Then you've got PacMan speed. So he's got 3 different speeds. You've also got the PacMan speed. So he skips a tick when he eats a pill. You've got the PacMan frightened speed, so he changes speed during frightened. And you've got the ghost standard speed, and I think you've got a ghost frightened speed as well. Ghost frightened speed. Technically got the ghost through the tunnel speed, but we can't recognize the tunnel strip, as it were.
Okay, yeah.
And then you've also got Elroy point.
What's that?
It's a thing called Cruise Elroy, which I don't know where it's from. But it's when you get to the last few pills, Blinky speeds up. So he actually goes faster than PacMan.
Oh, okay.
And then he's got 2 points. He's got an Elroy point and then like a second Elroy point where he bumps up a little bit faster. And it starts off at like 20 pills and then moves on to like half the pills by the time you get a bit higher. But technically, they're all roughly the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a thing on Reddit which is what's the deal with the term Cruise Elroy? And there's a link to a thing about it, and nobody's replying.
Nobody's answered. Nobody knows where it's from. Everything I've looked at it.
Weird. Yeah, that seems like a good thing to work on next time.
Yeah.
And,
I'll drop all the parameters and stuff in the.
Yeah, I think we should be able to piece them together. Like we should be able to do the speed one, then the whatever else, and then because they're just like different valuations of each level, aren't they?
Yeah.
Each test. But we should be able to. I guess we should be able to make it so nothing breaks currently by just setting, like you said, like a default across the initial.
I mean, we could have an I speed provider sort of thing, which in the test harness is always 1, and then in the real game changes depending on the level.
Yeah. So you pass in the game state or something, and it pops out where you want. Yeah. Yeah,
you should only need to.
Because the things like with the transition times as well and things like that, they should be quite easy to just, instead of just going directly to the settings, to just go to something what calculates them.
Yeah.
So you could just take the settings and think what calculates them, and then the thing what calculates them just goes, oh, I'm on level 3, I'm going to take away 1 or something.
Yeah.
And slowly take them down. And then you could just mock that little tiny bit out. Or you could actually have all the implementation because you can just run through all the levels pretty easy, can't you?
Technically, if you have a class and you pass in what level you're on, and you pass in how many pills have been eaten, and you pass in whether you're looking at frightened or not, it should be able to tell you the speed of the ghost that you're looking at. Oh no, I need to know whether it's blinky or not as well.
It's always blinky, isn't it? It's a troublemaker.
Yeah. Something else on Elroy speed as well, but I can't think what it was. Oh, I think it's on the last. And you've got the chase scatter time as well changes. And I think on the last chase scatter, I think he changes into Elroy then. It's great, isn't it? I think these things were just random.
Probably. It's probably just bugs in the system and then just like claim their features.
That's it. And it's just how it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because scatter chase is actually an array of switching. So there's 7 switch points, technically. And it changes depending on the level.
Why are there ghosts with the release of future PacMan games? What ghosts have been added? Kinky.
You got things like PacMania, haven't you? PacMan World and stuff.
So much stuff on PacMan. Cool. We probably should leave it there, and we'll do that next time then.
Yeah, good.
That's good. Doing some good progress tonight, I think.
Yes.
Cool.
I think that's the last bit, though, isn't it? Other than a couple of bugs, I think we'll be done once we've done the high level stuff.
Yeah, I quite like it. I still haven't found time to just make it so we can actually have something which is just like a .NET new PacMan bot, and then you can just do PacMan run, like .NET run, and it just runs you the game with your bot inside it.
Yeah,
which would be quite nice. So then we can try to get other people to kind of do them, and then we can actually maybe have like a session one night where we just run them all together, get the highest scores out of them all, and see who
gets the best. If you use the PacMan bot and you give them things like the Dijkstra's calculations and stuff for them, because you can't sit down and write that on the fly and test it and just during one little session. But let them write the AI.
Well, I was thinking more like they could just do it on their own, and then we could just put like a little review, like content or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or that are packaged into an SDK anyway, nice. So if they want to, use the shortest path algorithm, they can do. But...
Cool. Yeah, I might try that this weekend. I guess. Experiment.
Yep. Okay. I'll call it a night then.
Quite interesting to throw that out to everybody and just see who comes up with what.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be quite interesting because we've done like things at the York Code Dojo, we're like doing tanks and the tank game and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is kind of similar, but they fight each other. We could have a.
The thing is, to a certain extent, now is we're gradually coming out of it. Now would actually be the good times to do them because everybody can sit at home and do the code in their own time and just use the Slack channel if you get stuck on things and then submit them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
All right.
Yep. Okay.
I'll probably catch you Monday.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Should we okay for Monday?
Yeah. Okay. Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
You too.
Okay. Bye.
Right. Catch you later.